Found early fans, but then silence. Why do some innovations explode into the mainstream while others fade into obscurity? And here's the real question. What if the gap between early success and market dominance isn't about your product at all, but about understanding who you're selling to? Welcome. Today, we're unlocking Geoffrey Moore's game-changing framework, Crossing the Chasm. This isn't theory. It's the difference between becoming a market leader and joining the graveyard of almost made-it startups. As Moore himself warns, without mainstream adoption, you don't have a market, you have an expensive hobby. So let's bridge that gap together. And hey, if this resonates, grab the PDF handout linked in the description. It's your offline companion for this journey. Let's map our path. We're diving into 7 critical insights: the harsh reality of why most innovations fail, decoding the adoption lifecycle, understanding the chasm itself, the beachhead strategy, building complete solutions, positioning for pragmatists, and your actionable plan to cross successfully. Think of this as your GPS through treacherous terrain. Ready? Let's move. Here's the brutal truth, and it might sting. Most innovations don't fail because they're bad. They fail because they can't transition between buyer types. Your early success with visionaries? That doesn't predict mainstream traction. The gap isn't a crack you can step over, it's a chasm you must leap across deliberately. Here's what trips people up. They assume different buyers play by the same rules. They don't. Are you mistaking initial enthusiasm for real validation? Be honest. Google Glass, Segway, countless SaaS platforms, all loved by early adopters, all struggled to reach the mainstream. The pattern? They didn't understand the chasm. Now let's decode the life cycle. Moore identifies 5 distinct buyer personalities, and here's where it gets interesting. Innovators, just 2.5% chase technology for its own sake. Early adopters, 13.5%, seek competitive advantage and tolerate imperfection. But then comes the early majority, 34% of your market, and they're pragmatists demanding proven, low-risk solutions. The late majority and laggards follow, but here's the kicker. Your early success speaks to only 16% of the market. The real game? That 34% early majority. Think about Salesforce. They won tech-forward teams first, then spent years building case studies to convince risk-averse enterprises. What percentage of your market are you actually reaching right now? So where's the chasm? Between early adopters and the early majority lies a fundamental discontinuity. Reference selling breaks down completely here. Why? Early adopters don't provide credible references for pragmatists because their buying criteria are opposite. Visionaries tolerate incompleteness. Pragmatists demand proof. You can't slide across incrementally, you must leap. Moore calls this a period of great despair, and he's not exaggerating. The signals? Sales cycles lengthening despite strong pipelines, prospects requesting references you don't have, declining conversions with healthy lead flow. Sound familiar? That's the chasm talking. Are you listening? Here's the counterintuitive solution that saves companies. Narrow to grow. The Beachhead Strategy. To cross the chasm, you must aggressively narrow your focus to one target segment and dominate it completely. Not focus a bit more. Radical concentration. One industry vertical, one use case, one buyer persona. Build reference density so overwhelming that word of mouth becomes unstoppable within that niche. Think Amazon started with books, not retail. Slack targeted dev teams, not workplace communication broadly. Zoom focused on sales webinars, not video conferencing generally. See the pattern? They created fortresses of strength, then expanded from dominance. What's your beachhead? If you're trying to serve everyone, you're probably reaching no one effectively. But here's what most miss. Pragmatists don't buy products. They buy solutions to business problems. Enter the whole product concept. Your core technology is the generic product. The whole product? Everything needed for customers to achieve their desired outcome. That means integrations with existing systems, training programs, implementation services, partner ecosystems, filling gaps, and proof that others like them have succeeded. Salesforce didn't just provide CRM software. They built certified consultants, pre-built integrations, training academies, industry-specific solutions. That completeness enabled mainstream adoption. Are you selling features or complete outcomes? There's your gap. Positioning determines whether pragmatists see you as the safe, smart choice or a risky unknown. Here's Moore's formula. For target beachhead dissatisfied with market leader, our product is a category that provides unique capability. Unlike leader, we critical differentiation. This gives pragmatists the reference frame they need. You're like something they know, but better for their situation. Zoom positioned against WebEx as enterprise video that actually works simply. Tesla positioned against luxury cars as performance vehicle that's electric. They borrowed credibility from established categories while carving distinct space. What's your positioning statement? Can you articulate it in one sentence? If not, your pragmatist buyers definitely can't either. Now for the reality check. Warning signs you're stuck in the chasm. Sales cycles lengthening by 50% or more despite strong pipeline? Check. Prospects increasingly requesting references you don't have? Check. Success stories not resonating with new prospects? Check. Growing demand for customization and proof? Check. Declining conversion rates with healthy lead flow? Check. These aren't normal sales friction. They indicate a fundamental shift in buyer psychology. Recognition is your first step toward crossing successfully. Which of these signals are you seeing right now? Let's get tactical. Your 6-month crossing strategy starts now. Weeks 1 and 2. Conduct a brutal honesty assessment. Map your current customers across the adoption curve. Where are you really? Weeks 3 and 4. Beachhead selection using Moore's criteria. Then commit absolutely. Month 2. Whole product audit. Document every gap between your current offering and complete solutions. Prioritize ruthlessly. Month 3. Craft and test competitive positioning statements with actual target customers. Months 4 through 6. Execute with discipline. Build overwhelming reference density in your beachhead. This timeline assumes resources and discipline. Most companies fail by expecting quick results and abandoning strategy prematurely. Patience plus discipline beats speed every time. Your crossing checklist? Recognize which adoption segment you've truly captured. Honesty first. Choose your beachhead with surgical precision. Deliver whole product completeness. Outcomes, not features. Position competitively for clarity and differentiation. Build overwhelming reference density in your target segment. Try this. Conduct a brutal honesty session this week. Where are you really on the adoption curve? Most entrepreneurs overestimate their mainstream penetration. Don't be most entrepreneurs. If you want to deepen this knowledge, Moore's complete framework lives in Crossing the Chasm itself, available on Kindle, Audible, everywhere. Pair it with James Clear's Atomic Habits for systematic change principles that apply to market strategy. Stephen Covey's 7 Habits teaches begin with the end in mind, perfect for beachhead selection. Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich on definiteness of purpose parallels positioning clarity. Each offers a different lens on the same challenge, bridging vision and execution. Here's your personal challenge, the question that reveals everything. If you could only serve customers in one narrow segment for the next 18 months, which would create unstoppable momentum? That discomfort you feel narrowing this far? That's exactly the level of focus required to cross the chasm successfully. What's holding you back from making that commitment today? Really ask yourself. The resistance reveals our attachment to optionality, but optionality is the enemy of crossing. Peter Drucker said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it, but creating the future requires different strategies at different stages." Moore's framework has guided thousands of companies from vision to mainstream dominance. You have the roadmap. Now commit to the counterintuitive discipline of narrowing to grow. Small wins in your beachhead compound into market leadership. That's not hype. That's pattern recognition from decades of market data. So here's where we land. Cross your chasm. Start with one strategy today. Map where you truly are on the adoption curve. Clarity about your current position is the foundation for everything else. Download the complete PDF guide in the description. Reference it, revisit it, implement it. Implement it. And if this framework sparked something for you, subscribe to this channel. We're breaking down the strategies that separate market leaders from the rest. Tag us with your beachhead strategy. Let's build this community of disciplined executors together. The chasm is real, but so is the bridge. You've got this.